What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here on an episode of Backpack Classics, where I talk about albums that were indie and underground rap classics that wouldn't get touched necessarily by dead end hip hop. This is all powered by my Patreon supporters, so if you want to be one of the people that gets to vote on these albums, make sure you sign up to be a Patreon supporter. The link is down there in the description section. But yeah, let's jump right into it, man, because this is an exciting one for me. This is a very special album for me. I've told you guys before how influential and important the Hieroglyphics crew was for me. They were like the first rap crew that I really became obsessed with. As I've said before, I discovered Del and Souls of Mischief and Casual through old Plan B skate videos, and their sound was something new to me. I still can't quite put my finger on exactly what it was, but there was something, man. Their rap styles were just so dope, and to me, the beats were just untouchable. Well, this album dropped in 1998, a little while after I had graduated high school. Yes, I'm old. And it was the first time that we were seeing all of the Hyro guys on one album. Sure, there were comps that floated around back then, but this was the first like official Hieroglyphics album. And I remember being so excited for this. And once that first song came on, I just knew that I was in for an amazing journey. The first song is You Never Knew, and it also has this really dope video of them hanging out in like some island place or something, which is weird and bizarre, but it works. I still to this day know every single word to this song. The beat is super jazzy, super smooth, and A+ starts the song off with his verse, and it's so nice. And again, I could spit that verse word for word easy. I won't do it, but trust me, I could if I needed to. The verse after A+ was Pep Love, and back then Pep Love was the one guy from Hyro that I didn't know too much about. I never got the Shaman album, so hearing him on this was relatively new for me, and this album exposed me to just how badly I was fucking up by not being more up on Pep Love. From 93 till infinity, we've been inventive. Creating the bump is our only incentive, and it's been a long time since I feel I've been felt, but the only thing I fear is fear itself. The Easter eggs that Pep Love dropped in this verse is what got me. 93 till infinity being the Souls of Mischief album. Then you have him mention only fearing fear itself. Fear itself being Casual's album. I just thought that the way he laid that out was really dope. But Del is the one that I was waiting for. Back then, Del was probably my favorite rapper, and hearing him on this beat spitting like this was just so fresh to me. Del been rhyming for more than a decade, on to the next stage while MCs need aid, stayed paid, I'm still grade A, none of that tomfoolery. As you can see, this shit ain't nothing new to me. And I also love how they broke up Festo's verse, where it was like almost like they were using his verses as like pre-choruses, but it was really dope the way they did it. World renowned, we groundbreaking, musical boundaries, running circles around MCs. The next standout song was The Who, which featured Del, Opio, Festo, and Pep Love. And the beat is just stupid on this song. It's definitely one of my favorite beats on the album, and it's definitely a beat of the time. I listen to it now and it still sounds really dope to me, but I don't know if it would sound dated to somebody else. But either way, it was produced by Del, and again, it's easily one of my favorite beats on this album, and the whole song is just a spit fest, man. The really dope thing is how at the beginning of the song, they're trading off verses. Like each MC does like one bar and trades it off to another MC on some like Beastie Boys type shit, but it flows so perfectly. Tonight we got the Myke on cruise with more luck than horseshoes. While we fuse together like Bruticus, we move with 10-ton thrusters. The cosmopolitan cosmonaut up in your knot again like aneurysms expand with wisdom. Musical mannerisms are parallel to cannibalism and animal instinct that's in sync. Just reading that shit is so fucking hard, but if you hear them spitting it, it sounds so dope. And the hook is easily the catchiest hook on the entire album. Who the innovators who stimulate like vibrators with rhymes so major? You need us to rock a show, hit the pager. Niggas catch vapors when our lyrics hit the paper. At the Helm is another one of my favorite songs on here. It's a Dell solo track produced by Domino, who gives it that classic upbeat Hyro sound, and Dell's verse is basically him spitting, talking to other rappers who are maybe up and comers about how they need to get their shit together if they want to really last on the mic and in this rap game. Myke's of the Round Table is another standout track. It's basically a Souls of Mischief song produced by A+. Another really smooth beat that reminds me of something that Diamond D would have done back in the day. And of course, all the MCs come through with great verses. It's this song where they're comparing the Knight to the Round Table and their search for the Holy Grail to Souls of Mischief's search for the Holy Myke, which is basically them describing their journey to be the best MCs, which is such a Souls of Mischief concept, and I love it. The next song is one of my favorites on the album, and that's See Delight with Opio and Peplov. And it's another banger. This time it's produced by Opio that has this smooth ass bassline sample that's just infectious. And both MCs are just beastly here, and I love the way it comes in with the chorus. I'm about as swift as lightning greased, and I'm cold like Sub-Zero, feel the deep freeze. We the ones that make you feel right. You need to open up your eyes and see delight. What's dope is Opio and Peplov, to me, were really the standout MCs on this album. Whenever they rhymed, they really commanded the attention of the listener. Opio has that voice, and Peplov has that flow, and this song is a clear representation of that. The last song I gotta talk about is Off the Record, which is another one of my favorites. Like, this shit is dope. This one features Dell, Casual, Tajay, and A+, and it's produced by Domino, and it's my favorite beat on this album. This upbeat, funky, fucking instrumental with these horns, and these keys are going, oh man, it's really, really smooth, and y'all, Casual's verse on this song is probably... it might be my favorite verse on this album. It might be. I put my pencil to the paper and watched lightning strike. Casual the innovator in a state of advancement, and see Skolda break dancing on the lake when it freezes over. So much game I told her I'm a disease holder, and I still hit it. He says some other ill shit after that, but I don't even feel comfortable really like putting that shit in this video because I don't want it to get taken down. A+'s verse is also great. His flow here is really, really slick. A to the plus must do ya, bust through ya. Defenses with lyrics mentally muscular. Holding down like cement shoes to make you drown right. This is what we do if we the crew you sound like. An interesting thing about this song is it's the only one to feature Snoop, not Snoop Dogg, but Snoop, S-N-U-P-E, who was a part of the group Extra Prolific, which used to be associated with Hieroglyphics. Something happened between them. I don't really remember what it was, and it doesn't really matter in the context of this video. But it was a shame because Extra Prolific's album, Like It Should Be, is fantastic. Seriously. And it would have been super dope to see Snoop spitting over some of these beats. One thing I haven't mentioned are the dope interludes that are interspersed throughout this album. They're not interludes like skits or anything. It's just that each MC gets a solo song that's about a minute or two a piece. And it's a really cool idea, and it worked really well. And my favorite, if I had a gun to my head, I'd probably have to say Festo's. Like, his flow on that song over this really dark beat, it worked out really, really well. But overall, man, I could probably talk about this album all fucking day. This is a classic piece of indie rap, underground rap history. After listening to all these MCs for years and years, it was so great seeing them all come together as like this West Coast kind of like underground indie rap Wu-Tang. And this was during a time when, to me, these MCs were all top tier MCs and no one was fucking with them. Like, their unique deliveries, their lyrical approaches, the flows, they were all top notch. All of their production was always on point. And you know, when you think of West Coast rap, of course you instantly think of people like Dr. Dre and Snoop and Easy and Ice Cube and Spice One, etc. But I don't think that people like Razkaz, I don't think that groups like The Pharcyde and Hieroglyphics get enough praise. Especially Hyro, when they did a lot for this alternative rap scene on that coast. And it may sound weird, but For those not familiar with this crew, I think this album is a perfect starting point to get a feeling of how each one of these MCs operates by themselves as well as with each other. But for those of us that were already familiar with this crew, this album was like the first Avengers movie. You know, we've been watching these individuals put out project after project after project that were all super dope, that were all making serious noise. Each project featuring other members of the crew. So over time, you got a feeling that something with all of them together would be really monumental. And when it finally happened, I feel like it was. This is a damn near perfect album. There's not a single snoozy track on this whole shit. It was something that was truly special and magical for that time. And I think today, I think it stands up quite well lyrically, musically. You know, the production is the glue that I think holds the entire project together. But this album is a testament to how MCs within a crew should operate. Each MC sounds extremely different and distinct from one another, but when they come together, it's a beautiful arrangement because when they're passing the mic to each other, it comes off seamless. No two MCs clash at all. They all mesh perfectly together, and it's such a dope thing to behold. And this is definitely an indie rap classic album that I feel like any fan of indie rap needs to hear. No bullshit, I listen to this album at least once every couple of months, like easy. And that's coming from a guy that listens to a lot of fucking music. So if you've not heard this album, make sure you jump on it. If you have heard this album, man, let's talk about it in the comment section down there. And again, make sure you jump on my Patreon and become a supporter so you can vote on the next album that I talk about in Backpack Classics. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Look for some more shit coming very soon. But as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out, boy.